The concept of value in factor modeling is one of the two most widely known concepts, the other being the concept of momentum. The significance of value can be traced to the work of Ben Graham and David Dodd, who wrote about value investing, which seeks to estimate a company's intrinsic value, then by companies that are priced below that intrinsic value. Some well-known followers of Graham and value investing are Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. These types of investors are referred to as fundamental investors, or also discretionary investors. Given the apparent success of value investing by discretionary investors, quants have worked to replicate the idea by creating quantitative measures of value. Since I mentioned quants being inspired by discretionary investors, I want to tell you about an idea I think is very misunderstood. This is something I am very passionate about. Most quants, those who are new to quant finance, and even famous and very experienced quants, often think and proclaim loudly, and even impolitely, that fundamental investors trade by gut instinct and have no process, whereas quants are the standard bearers of the scientific method and are the only ones with a repeatable process. This is absolutely wrong. I have worked with some of the best fundamental investors in the world, in addition to some of the best quants. And both these groups have had a rational, well-articulated, repeatable process. The key difference, though, between the two are 1, the kind of inputs they use, 2, how they process that information, and 3, the shape of the portfolios that emerge. Historically, fundamental investors have relied on detective work to gather inputs. This work includes reading corporate filings, talking to research analysts and reading analyst reports, listening to company conference calls, talking to executives at the companies, and even visiting companies on site. Fundamental investors then synthesize all this information into a variant view, which is a non-consensus view. The shape of portfolios differ between fundamental investors and quant investors. When I refer to shape, I mean the number of positions and also the concentration of those positions. Think of the shape function in the Python library pandas. Great fundamental investors have high IC, the measure of skill. But because of the style and depth of their research process, they can only achieve low breadth, because it's only humanly possible to research so many companies with that much depth. But make no mistake, these investors use repeatable inputs, follow a repeatable process, and produce high IC bets. Quants, on the other hand, have historically used structured data, like price and volume data, financial statement data, quantified research analyst ratings, and the like. As discussed, quants typically have lower IC, but more than make up for that with much higher breadth.